Hello, welcome back to Who Ordered the Pie, the podcast where music, cocktails, and the stories behind them all come together. I'm Christopher, and today we're talking about songs that sound like messy breakups, but the heartbreak wasn't romantic at all. Sometimes it was a band falling apart, sometimes it was a creative split between friends, and sometimes the love lost was the music itself. Now, a quick reminder, all our cocktails are available on the website Who Ordered Pie, so if you want to drink along with us, you just jump on over there and you can find episode 9's cocktail right there. So, pour yourself something good, get comfortable, and let's talk about the songs that broke up bands, not couples. The song Without You, written by Badfinger back in 1970, feels like pure heartbreak.
Well, I can't forget this evening and your face when you were leaving.
And just in case you need a reminder of just how devastating the chorus was to this song, here's the part you probably know best.
I can't live if living is without you.
Now, a quick aside here. I'm going to guess you've never heard this version before and might not have known that Badfinger wrote it in the first place. Most of us grew up with the Harry Nilsson hit because that's the version that radio made immortal, but we'll get back to that. It sounds like a plea to a lover, but it wasn't written about a breakup at all. Pete Ham and Tom Evans each had a song that they were working on, both songs about stress, exhaustion, and feeling let down, not by partners, but by life and the pressure of their own band. When they finally fused Pete's unfinished verse with Tom's chorus, they realized what they had stumbled on was something much bigger than either of them expected. They had no idea how prophetic it would be. Badfinger were falling apart behind the scenes, a crooked manager, missing money, legal battles. The real heartbreak wasn't romantic, it was creative, and it was crushing them.
I can't live if living is without you. I can't live.
When Harry Nilsson first heard the demo, he actually thought it was a Beatles song. He loved it so much he decided to record his own version. And in the process, he turned that quiet moment of frustration into a worldwide cry. His rendition hit number one in 1972, but the sadness listeners connected to wasn't about a leaving lover. It became two writers watching their dreams unravel. Both Ham and Evans would take their own lives within a decade, and I'll be doing a full episode on Badfinger's tragic story soon because theirs is one of the saddest stories in rock and roll history.
Too many people going underground. Too many.
The Beatles were barely in the rearview mirror when Paul McCartney and John Lennon turned their breakup into song. Paul fired the first shot with Too Many People on his album Ram.
That was your first mistake.
It sounded light and domestic, but underneath were quiet jabs aimed at John and Yoko.
You took your lucky break and broke it in two.
And trust me, John didn't miss it. He answered with How Do You Sleep from Imagine.
So Sergeant Pepper took you by surprise.
And the fact that George Harrison played slide guitar on the song made it sting even more. The whole song is pretty much a thinly veiled attack on Paul.
The only thing you done was yesterday.
John later admitted, I was bitter and I regret it a bit. I used my resentment against Paul to knock him. Paul eventually softened everything over with his song Dear Friend, but it was a war-fought in melody instead of words. Two men who loved each other and didn't know how to say it out loud. When How Long by Ace hit the airwaves in 1974, everyone assumed it was about cheating.
How long has this been going on?
That pleading line of How Long's This Been Going On felt like someone confronting a lover, but Paul Carrack later revealed, I just wrote about our bass player. He had been rehearsing with another band.
Help it have my suspicion, 'cause I ain't quite as dumb as I seem.
Now, I still have a hard time believing that they didn't know the listeners would hear this as a cheating story. Of course, our minds are going to go there, and I honestly think that they leaned into that. They walked that line on purpose. But the portrayal wasn't romantic, it was musical, still real enough to reach number 3 on the Hot 100. So Lonely by the Police sounds like a breakup anthem, all ache, urgency, and that shout-along chorus. But Sting later admitted it wasn't about a girl, it was about being a struggling musician. In 1977, the Police were broke, unsigned, and playing in tiny clubs. Sting borrowed the rhythm from Bob Marley's No Woman, No Cry because reggae felt closer to the loneliness he was living than rock did.
All made up and nowhere to go.
Sting joked that we used to play to only 5 people in one night, and I meant every word.
Welcome to this one-night show.
They were hustling so hard at that time that they filmed the music video for So Lonely without a permit, sprinting through the Tokyo subways before security could catch them. When the song was reissued in 1980, it hit number 6 in the UK. Listeners assumed it was about heartbreak, but the real story was about the grind, the waiting, and the feeling that the world wasn't listening.
It's over. It's all over.
Jeff Lynne's It's Over closes side 1 of ELO's Out of the Blue like the ending of a movie. Big strings, a long exhale, and a slow fade out. Lynne wrote the entire double album in just 3.5 weeks while holed up in a Swiss chalet. He later said, "I nearly killed myself making that record." He was sleeping 4 hours a night, chasing melodies in his dreams, and recording until the tape was pushed to its limit. When the album came out, it hit number 4 on the Billboard Hot 100 and became one of ELO's biggest successes. But behind the triumph, Lynne was burned out. The reason we all assume It's Over was a breakup song is because it sounds like one. The strings swell like heartache, the chorus hits like someone closing the door on a relationship, and every line feels like the aftermath of a romance that's gone wrong. But it wasn't about love at all. Lynne wasn't breaking up with someone, he was breaking down. It's Over wasn't a breakup song, it's burnout captured on vinyl. Roger Hodgson wrote Goodbye Stranger as he was preparing to leave Supertramp. To most listeners, it sounds carefree, a light, breezy send-off.
I really have enjoyed my stay, but I must be moving on.
Hodgson was already slipping in clues about why he was leaving the band, and you can hear it right here.
Now we're going shining, shining like brand new. I'll never look behind me, my troubles will be few.
Feels like a breakup with a person, but really, he's imagining his life beyond Supertramp. And when he talked about why he left, he was honest about the stress inside the band. He said things were not working, and the communication had gotten really bad between all of us.
Goodbye, stranger. It's been nice. Hope you find paradise.
Supertramp were riding high, but the pressure, the travel, and the creative split with Rick Davies was wearing them down. When Breakfast in America came out in 1979, it was massive. Number 1 in the Billboard Top 200, 2 Grammys, and it had huge singles. But Hodgson already walked away, moving his family to the mountains of Northern California and choosing simplicity over stadiums. Goodbye Strangers and the kiss off to old girlfriends. It's a quiet exit from the life he no longer wanted. A song that smiles as it walks away.
Talk to me softly. There's something in your eyes.
Don't Cry by Guns N' Roses sounds like a breakup ballad, pleading, emotional, and desperate. But the heartbreak wasn't romantic, it was about a friendship.
Don't hang your head in sorrow, and please don't cry.
Axl Rose said, "We wrote it about a girl we both liked. Izzy got the girl." But later it became about us.
Don't you cry tonight. I still love you, baby.
What started out as teenage jealousy became a song about a slow fracture between 2 friends who built the band together. When it came out in 1991, Don't Cry climbed to number 10 on the Billboard Hot 100, number 8 in the UK, and number 1 in Ireland and Finland.
To be thinking of you and the times we had.
A breakup song that topped the charts around the world, even though the real breakup was happening inside the band. By the time Use Your Illusion came out, Axl and Izzy were barely speaking, and Izzy quit a few months later. The same album carried 2 versions of Don't Cry, as if even they couldn't let it go. A love song that wasn't about love at all. It was about losing your creative partner and the silence that follows. Now, as you know, every episode I like to pair the story with a drink. And this time we're mixing together something that feels exactly like these songs. 2 voices that shouldn't work together, but somehow they do. This episode's cocktail is Creative Differences. It's a split-bass old-fashioned where opposites find the balance. Before we start mixing, we need to make a quick Demerara syrup. You can find Demerara sugar in most grocery stores. Usually it's in the baking aisle near the raw sugars. But you're going to combine 1 part sugar and 1 part hot water and stir that until it dissolves. Then let that cool down. Now for the drink, you start with a bucket glass and add 1 ounce of rye whiskey, 1 ounce of aged rum, 1/4 ounce of Demerara syrup, 2 dashes of Angostura bitters, and 1 dash of orange bitters. Stir it nice until chilled, and then strain that over a large ice cube. Lastly, you express an orange peel. You end up with 2 strong opinions in 1 glass, a perfect metaphor for the band that can't agree but still make magic. Well, there we have it. From Badfinger to Guns N' Roses, these songs prove that not every heartbreak comes from a relationship. Sometimes it comes from the studio down the hall. And if you enjoyed today's story, please tell a friend about our show. Give us a like, a follow, and thanks again for listening. Here's the loud riffs, quiet sips, and the stories in between.
It's over. It's all over. It's all